Hi, Robert Ragan here, back with part 2 of our Working with GEDCOM Files mini workshop. And if you remember in part 1, I told you that I was going to show you how to create GEDCOM files, look at them, import them, export them. Don't let all this terminology throw you off, because there's different terms depending on your genealogy software. For instance, if you create a GEDCOM file, that means you're just going to save the data that you're working with as a GEDCOM file in that GEDCOM file format. If you look at a GEDCOM file, you're just going to open it and look at it. That's all. If you import it, again, you're going to look or open at that GEDCOM file. And if you export it, you're going to save the data that you're working with as a GEDCOM file. You say tomato, I say tomato. So I'll show you how easy this is. Now we're back at the desktop of my computer. And one quick thing I want to do is I'm going to create a folder, a new folder, and I'm going to name it GEDCOM Workshop Stuff. And this is where I'm going to put all the files that we'll be working with. I do have 2 GEDCOM files here, and I'm just going to drop them in this folder, and I'm going to open the folder. That's what's in there now. I have a GEDCOM file that's big and a GEDCOM file that's small. In part 3 of the workshop, I'll show you a place that you can get GEDCOM files if you're not creating them on your own genealogy software. But for now, we'll start with these 2 GEDCOM files. And one thing I do want to mention, you can see that they have the same look as a PAF file. That's only because PAF is my default genealogy software program. If you use a different genealogy software program, your little icons may look different, but these are GEDCOM files. Now I'm back on my computer desktop, and we're going to go start with PAF. I'm going to click on it and open my PAF software, and it's starting. I'm going to close all that down and look up here. I'm going to go to File, and there's an option to import, and I'm going to click on Import. It says you can only import to an existing file. Okay, so I've got to create a PAF file to look at it, and that's fine. And I'm going to create it on my desktop in that folder, the GEDCOM Workshop Stuff folder. And I'm just going to name it, Ragan Small. I like to save my PAF files with the same names that my GEDCOM files are called. So I'm just going to save that there, and I'm not going to fill in any of that. And what am I going to import? I'm going to import Ragan Small. So I'm going to click on that GEDCOM file. See, it's in the little folder there, and import it. That simply means open it up and look at it. Import the notes. Yes, you always want to import the notes. Sure. And here we go. And close that down, and here we go. In PAF, I can look at family, I can look at pedigree, individual. There's a list of individuals, and there they are. Now I'd like to show you 2 interesting points. I'm going to go back up to File. This is where we were a minute ago, and look, there is now an export option. This option was not there before, but now that I have a PAF file I'm working with information in it, and of course this is what was on the GEDCOM file, but this could be anything, or I could add stuff to it, or this could be my own personal information I'm working on. You can export that, which I'll show you how that works in a minute. Now here's another thing. This is what's inside of our little folder that we created. See, here's our original GEDCOM files. There's Ragan Small, but now there's a PAF file that we also named Ragan Small, and there's a little list file that goes with it. You always want to keep these 2 together. But the Ragan Small GEDCOM file, it imported the information, and it converted it to a PAF file, but the GEDCOM file itself, it stays the same. It doesn't mess with that. You can use the same GEDCOM file and open or import information into other genealogy software programs as well. Now we are back looking inside the PAF genealogy software program. I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to close this file. Now I'm going to go to File again, and again I'm going to repeat the same steps, and I'm going to import another file. And I'll go through the same steps, and I'm going to name this file Ragan Big. And close that down, and now I can, there's my little window that I can import the GEDCOM file, and that's from our little folder, and I'm going to click on Ragan Big. Now I use this example in some of my courses because it's so dramatic. Watch what happens. I'm going to click the import button, but I'm going to have to pause it because it's going to take so long. Watch this. Click the import button. Okay, and here we go. Look at that. Thousands and thousands of individuals are in this PAF file. I'm going to pause it. Okay, it's done loading up. There were over 24,000 individuals in this PAF file, and the credit goes to Michael Ragan, who is a genealogy researcher. He did a lot online, and he has passed away now, and at an early age, I'm sad to say. But Michael Ragan made this GEDCOM file available on the internet, and for Ragan researchers, it's a big deal. Now I'm looking at this big list of 24,000 names from the work that Michael Ragan did, and in PAF you have a family view, a pedigree view, an individual view. Are all these 24,000 names in my line? No, they're not, but some of them are. Could some of it be wrong? Absolutely. You need to verify your information. But some of this information is. Here's Moses Ragan. He is in my line, and I could look at him in a pedigree, and I could look at his family, and I did find some information that I didn't have. And I could add to this information and work with this PAF file and save it. It's a resource. Welcome to the electronic age. Could you imagine how many notebooks it would take to fill with 24,000 names of information? It's incredible. While we're here, I have to show you this tip, and I'm going to show you because I have been to, say, friends from church or people that needed help, and usually they're elderly, and they sit and diligently enter their information into PAF, and this is their world: family, pedigree, and individual. And every time I visit some of these folks and work with them and help them, I say, were you aware of this? That's what I'm about to show you, and they're not. This opens up a whole nother world to the PAF software program. And remember, it's free. So here's Moses Ragan. He's the individual I've selected. I'm going to go to File. I'm going to go to Print Reports. And there's all kinds of different reports you can print. One of my favorites is Book. So I'm going to click on Book, and I'm going to go to a Print Preview so you can see what happens before you even print and preview it. And look here. Here's a nice little report. I'm going to go to the next page on Moses Ragan and family, and I'm going to go here, and it even has third generation. I'm going to keep clicking. It has an index in the back as well. So if you come across some GEDCOM files that have a lot of information and look at it at PAF, remember this tip. Here I've opened up that smaller file that's now a PAF file. It's the information we got from that small GEDCOM file. It could be any information that I'm working with, but I want to show you how to export it, or that just means save it as a GEDCOM file. I'm going to go to File, I'm going to click on Export, and there's different things we can export it to PAF5, which is what I'm working with now, or maybe somebody has an older version of PAF and different things. But look down here, it is GEDCOM. This is how we can export it or save it in a GEDCOM format. So I'm going to click that option, and I'm going to go All, and I'm going to go Export. And see, there's the extension we talked about, the GED. So the file name, I'm going to name this, just for the sake of example, Ragan Export PAF, and it's going to save it here in this little folder, and click Export, and there you go, it's been exported. Now what does that mean? Now we're looking back in our GEDCOM workshop stuff folder, and here's what that means. It means I created a GEDCOM file. So here's what happened. Here's the big GEDCOM file that we originally worked with. Nothing's been changed. It took the information, but it left the GEDCOM file intact. Here's the small one. I made PAF files out of both of these. So there's Ragan Small, and there's the other file that goes with it. Ragan Big, that's at 24,000 names. And here's the other little file that goes with it. And when I exported it, remember I named it Ragan Export PAF, I created a GEDCOM file. That's all it takes to create a GEDCOM file. Very easy. I hope you're understanding this. And if not, go ahead and replay the video, and don't forget to use the pause button, and you can see how easy it is to work with GEDCOM files with the PAF software program. Now we're going to do it with Family Tree Maker.